I knew I had my life back when I sat up after the first treatment. I had been seeing numerous types of doctors, numerous doctors for over 8 months. I started in September and never left a doctor's office with even a shred of evidence that they knew what I had or even were trying to find what I had, yet alone fix what I had. When I laid down for the treatment, I hadn't taken any medication that day because I was in the middle of a headache and it was rapidly going worse. My husband was with me. He knows the signs. You can tell I get real pale. And even before I sat up and knew I was better, my husband knew I was better, because he said as soon as we call it pulling the trigger, as soon as the trigger was pulled, he said a wash came over me, which I couldn't see the wash. I felt the wash. I felt a cool wave literally start at the top of my head and shoot out my toe like lightning, only it didn't hurt. It was just a nice cool wave. And within that nanosecond, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like when you're scared and you get the hair on the back of your neck feeling stand up. That's a bad feeling, but this was a good feeling in the same way. When I sat up after the treatment, 2-3 minutes, however long I laid there, the spots on the back of my neck behind my earlobes that I had been complaining for, my glasses fit too tight or something was wrong. They'd been so sore to the touch before I laid down. He couldn't even hardly touch them. When I sat up, he was not only feeling on them, he was pushing on them, and there was no pain. And the headache that I had been fighting all day was gone. It wasn't bearable. It wasn't better. It wasn't kind of there. It was gone. I have taken hydrocodone, I have taken Lortabs, I have taken Midrin, I have taken, I think, every drug they can prescribe for headaches. And even with a drug, it takes 20 to 30 minutes to get you to a point where you just don't feel like your head's going to blow up. I didn't have any drugs, and my head was not hurting. I'd had a constant headache for 8 months. I sat up, and I had no headache. Now, if that's not miracle, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's voodoo. I don't care if it's miracle. I don't care what it is. I didn't have a headache. And you won't find any bigger naysayer in the world than my husband when it comes to medicine, period. And the look on his face when I sat up was the first smile I'd seen on his face coming out of a doctor's office in 8 months. He was scared to death I was going to die because nobody could figure out what was the matter with me, and I was going downhill every month.